General adaptation syndrome. It is not the stress that kills us, it's our reaction to it. Hans Selye. Hans Selye is known as the father of stress research, and he looked into the stress responses of fight or flight. And there's 3 biological phases in the body that happens. The first one that you see is alarm. The second one that you see is resistance, and the last one that you see is exhaustion. This is the fight or flight response. The first one that we're going to look at is alarm. The example that I'm going to give is, say that somebody has social anxiety and they go to a party. Fight or flight responses might happen in this person with social anxiety at that said party. These people might experience increased breathing, faster heart rate, sweaty palms, or dry mouth. The next one we're going to look at is resistance. If that person fights the fight or flight response, then they're going to go into resistance mode. This is where the body is, should I stay or should I go? If I stay, then all of these are going to get worse. If I go, then it may get better. The next one that we're going to look at is exhaustion. If you stay and your body is resisting the fight or flight response of you wanting to go home and letting your body go back to normal, then you might get a system overload and experience something being sick or even having a panic attack. What is general adaptation syndrome? Like we talked about before, Hans Selye researched the 3 different biological factors that come in with fight or flight: alarm, resistance, and exhaustion. In alarm, 2 main chemicals are released in the body: adrenaline and cortisol. Some key factors of adrenaline include increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, expanding the air passages of the lungs, and enlarging pupil in the eye. There's many more, but these are just the main factors. Cortisol is the primary stress hormone. Increased sugars in the bloodstream enhances your brain use of glucose and increases the availability of substances that repair tissues. Resistance would mean constant exposure to these 2 factors, meaning constant blood pressure, constant higher blood pressure, or constant higher blood sugar. These can lead to you getting sick or having really big medical issues such as blood pressure issues and stress-related illnesses, etc. When I was studying this topic, by watching videos, it appealed to my visual learning styles and also auditory learning styles. By me watching the videos and seeing the examples and little diagrams of what I was learning, it helped with my visual learning styles. And hearing them talk about it in the videos, it really helped my auditory learning styles. For the tactile learning styles that I used to study in my study plan, I used actually writing them down and getting to see what it looks like on paper. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use any of the proper coping mechanisms to fight or flight, but I will in the future. It was really interesting to learn the different aspects of fight or flight that affect the body, but also that the different chemicals that we have that are let out in the process. I also didn't know that general adaptation syndrome meant that an exposed, prolonged syndrome to fight or flight. It's interesting to think that people can have such a stress for such a long time and it really affect them. I wondered how long people have dealt with this without it going noticed.